Hello, all. I just wanted to share a little bit of specific information about the author illustrator study that you've been working on. Make sure that you're on the right track and that you are addressing all of the significant elements in this project. So I'm going to share my screen, which I should have already done, but here it is. When I talk about APA format for the cover, and for the entries, the three quality annotations, look to this link that I provided you with to Al Purdue Online Writing Lab with APA reference. This page is specific to how to write the entries for your books. And notice that the basic book format includes your author's last name or names if there's more than one author, and then the year of publication in parentheses. Notice that the title of the work uses capital letters for the first word. It's a little confusing. And I'm not real picky on this, but I do want you to at least attempt to use APA form for this. So you see different kinds of ways to do authors, but this is the main one that you're going to be using. Also for the cover, you can see the example and it gives you a pretty good idea of what your color might look like, your cover, I'm sorry. So the biographical information, this is going to be important to the written part of your report, but not as much to the presentation that you're going to give. Because what you're going to share with the students in the presentation is going to be what is specifically important to us as educators. What do we want to know about this author or illustrator? How can we use these books in the classroom? So for the written report, make sure that you have covered this biographical information well. And here's a great big hint. When you're writing 1 to 1.5 pages double spaced, it is never appropriate to write it all in one great big block. So keep in mind the specifics of appropriate writing standards. You're going to have multiple paragraphs. The annotations, an annotation is just a summary of a book in relation to how you're using it. For example, if you were doing a science project and you were using a book, you would focus on the aspects of it that relate to science. So for our purposes, your annotations should give us the title and theme, and then in your own words, how might you use that in the classroom? What is the theme of the book? So these should come from 3 books that you have actually read by this author or by this illustrator. So remember, the annotations will be in your own words. Appropriate classroom use just means how are you going to use it for a particular grade level or maybe a small range of grades, 1st through 3rd grade, for example. When you're looking at the genre or artistic media, feel free to Google that and find out the information that you can. Some of these are going to be specific to picture books. If you're doing, if you are studying an illustrator, then you're going to look at the kind of illustrations that the author does, because they tend to work many times within the same genre or similar genre of art or literature. So for the critiques of their work, you are going to find ways that reviewers, whether professional or they could be parents, they could be from libraries, you're going to include summaries of at least 2 critiques of their work. They don't have to be positive. In fact, if you do 1 positive and 1 negative, that provides a really good balance. I'm not saying you have to do that, but something that you could think of. So you're going to give the sources of these reviewers' names and where were they? Were they in a journal? Are they on a site that's online only? But give the name of where you found these critiques. And then the overall conclusion, again, this is your words expressing how is this author or illustrator significant? Give us kind of the broad picture and how we can use this author in different grade levels, keeping in mind that children's literature is not only for littles, it's not only for the young children, it's also appropriate for middle grades and even high school. And then you're going to give us a list of their work and awards. Again, I'm not real specific about this, about how you do the bibliographic sources, but make sure that you have read at least 3 of the ones that you list. Do include awards that they have won. This is important because anyone you're studying should have won at least one significant award. And then the day of your presentation, you're going to bring at least 3 of their books, hard copies. So whether you're presenting via Zoom or in person, you need to have those 3 books available so that you can show those as you're discussing and explaining your person. And be sure to give credit to all of your sources. 200 points, folks, 200 points. This is one of the 2 biggest assignments that you do in this class. The other one being the thematic project that we'll look at later on. So after your presentation, you will provide me with this score sheet with the top part filled out. And I know a few of you have difficulty reading instructions here, so I'm going to point this out for you specifically where it has an asterisk. These 2 sections will be self-assessed. And then here with the 2 asterisks over here, provide the titles of the books you brought and provide notes about your presentation. And keeping in mind that the presentation is not just a mini presentation of the project that you've done. Your focus needs to be on how we can use it, why the books are important, maybe share themes from the 3 books that you have read and have brought to share with the group. You don't have to provide any kind of visual aid for your presentation. You can if you choose to. If you'd like to make a short PowerPoint, if you'd like to make a little collage or something, you are welcome to do that, but you're not required to do that. Remember that you're going to have 5 to 7 minutes. And because we are going to be on a time limit for this, we are going to go strictly by that time. So at 7 minutes, if your presentation is not complete, then you're going to be cut off, and that may affect your score a little bit. So work on your presentation, figure out kind of an outline of what you're going to talk about, the order that you're going to talk about it, and you're going to do really great. So review that example. It's an example of a well-written study. The example that I provide, is it perfect? No, but it's very strong, and it should give you a good idea of what your written report should look like. And then if you have any additional questions, let me know, but I believe you have all the information that you need. So I'm looking forward to, I do pop in and out of the groups, whether we're in class, in person, or via Zoom. So I'm looking forward to hearing each of your presentations. And as always, let me know if there is anything else I can clarify.